One cup of coffee, one quiet moment, and sometimes, a stranger's story can leave behind a lesson that stays with us for life. Today's story takes place on a street corner, over a cup of morning coffee, and begins with a man who simply drives a motorcycle for a living. It was one of those mornings where everything felt rushed. I was late for a meeting, stuck in traffic, and my phone kept buzzing. Stress was creeping in. So I stepped aside, decided to breathe, and bought myself a simple cup of black coffee from a street vendor. That's when I noticed him, a Xiom driver, maybe in his late 60s. His face was worn by time and sun, his clothes were faded, but his eyes were still alive. He was quietly sipping tea, not in any rush, just being. I asked him to take me a few kilometers down the road. On the ride, I couldn't help but ask, "Uncle, how long have you been doing this?" "Almost 40 years, since before you were born." I laughed, then I said, "Must have been tough. All those hours, the heat, the waiting. Yes, it's hard. But waiting is part of life. You can rush your bike, but not your destiny." I asked him what he meant, and he told me something I've never forgotten. I used to get angry, waiting hours for a customer, watching others pass me by. But one day I realized, my anger didn't bring anyone faster, it only made the wait feel heavier. So I changed. I started using the waiting time to think, to watch the world, to let my heart slow down. He paused, then added, "The coffee tastes better when you're not chasing the clock." That short ride stayed with me, not because of the destination, but because of the silence between words, and the wisdom behind them. He wasn't rich. He didn't have followers or fans, but his calmness, his patience, his quiet strength, that was wealth of another kind. In a world obsessed with speed, remember, sometimes it's the ones who move slowly who see the most. And sometimes, a Xiom driver, with a small cup of tea and a lifetime of waiting, can teach us more than 100 books. So, the next time you feel rushed, stop, breathe, take a sip of coffee, and ask yourself, am I living or just hurrying? This is Stories Over Coffee, where a single moment can hold an entire philosophy.